a guided walking tour of the Newport Beach Pier in Newport Beach, California. I am Chris, this is Yellow Productions, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you around this famous pier and this famous beach. By the way, this is part of my series of Southern California beach walks. If you want to see more beach walks in Southern California, definitely check them out afterwards. Now, I'm going to turn this camera forward so you can see what I see. And we are currently on the pier itself. This pier dates back to 1940. It is a wooden pier underneath that is 1,000 feet long. And if we look to the north, this is probably the busiest part of Newport Beach in front of the main parking lot here. We will walk down there and check out those shops later. But to the north, we see Huntington Beach in the distance. In the far distance, you can see the Palos Verdes Peninsula, the shadow of it out there. You can see some of the ships that are waiting to dock to unload their cargo at the port of Los Angeles and San Pedro. And then in the distance towards the end of the pier this way, you can make out the shadow of Catalina Island, the blue building at the end of this pier. It used to be a sushi restaurant. It's been closed for about 10 years, so right now there's pretty much nothing down there. This pier has a lot of great benches on it where you can sit and enjoy the view. Looking to the south, we see Laguna Beach off in the distance. That's that big peninsula that you see that way. And then at the end of it, the tip that way is Dana Point. There is one more pier in Newport Beach known as the Balboa Pier by the Balboa Fun Zone. We will check that one out in an entirely different video because walking around the Fun Zone itself is pretty fun to see. It is one of Southern California's last few seaside beach amusement parks. I'm shooting this video on a Friday in July. It is about 2 p.m. and you can see what the crowd level looks like here. Pretty busy. I will say this year, the year of the pandemic being the year of revenge travel for the beaches, I have found the Southern California beaches to be busier than ever because I think a lot of people didn't get to come to the beach last year, and so they're making up for it this year. Now, to the left here at the foot of the pier is the Dory fishing fleet. This is actually what this pier dates back to. In the late 1800s, it was originally called the Dory Wharf and was the McFadden Wharf. But this Dory fishing fleet is a kind of communal fishing market where they actually sell fresh caught seafood down here on the beach 5 days a week. If you want to get in on some of that seafood, you got to get here in the morning because the fishermen, they leave on their boats at about 2 a.m. They come back somewhere between 6 and 9, and it's pretty much closed by noon. So get your seafood early if you come here. The Newport Beach Lifeguard headquarters is at the tip of this pier, and the lifeguards are here in Newport Beach 365 days a week. And you can also see they're building a couple of new lifeguard towers for the Newport Beach lifeguards. There are restrooms right here at the foot of the pier. You'll find men's and women's on both sides. So there's actually 2 men's and 2 women's. Now this pier and beach area, one of the famous televised things of this was from the show The O.C., which had a lot of shots of the pier, particularly this place called Charlie's Chili, this restaurant down here, famous chili restaurant, been here for over 50 years. At the foot of the pier, there's this little circle that has a kind of globe art thing in the middle of it. I hear somebody singing under this green umbrella, street performers. If we go to the right, I'm not going to walk far down here, but just to show you, there is one snack shop right here. Pipeline at the Newport Pier, popular for ice cream, drinks, and snacks. If you go down the boardwalk this way to the Balboa Pier, it is mostly residential until you get to the Balboa Pier. Popular to rent bicycles, surreys, and things like that. And yes, by the way, the original name of the pier was actually the McFadden Wharf, built in 1888. Dory Fishing Fleet is the name of that market. Now, Newport Beach is one of my favorite beaches in Orange County. As I mentioned, Laguna Beach to the south, tremendously hard to park in Laguna Beach. Huntington Beach to the north, party town. Newport Beach is geographically in the middle, and then somewhere in the middle when it comes to how expensive it is and how relaxed it is. But it's just a really neat place to come and walk around. Even if you don't like the beach or the sand all that much, there's lots to see and do in Newport Beach. You can even get yourself a corn dog and a lemonade right here. Now, just this way in the brown building, there's the old spaghetti factory. I really enjoy the old spaghetti factory. If you're looking for something for dinner that is fairly inexpensive and will be popular with your kiddos, you can check out the old spaghetti factory. Now, if you're listening to this thing, Chris, are you really recommending spaghetti? Well, if you want something more high-end, then come to the 21 Oceanfront restaurant, where you will find lots more high-end food, including caviar and those sorts of things. This would be a great place to see an ocean view, celebrate an anniversary, celebrate a birthday. I mentioned parking can be a challenge here. Nearly all of the parking on the Balboa Peninsula, which is where this Newport Pier is pay parking at meters. Expect to pay about a couple bucks an hour. Good deal is that all of the parking meters take credit cards, so no big deal. All right, now, howdy. We got someone stopping us right here. How you doing? All right, very good. Nice to meet you. Interesting people. Yes, interesting people, to say the least. Exactly. Thank you very much. I don't know. Maybe she's practicing to be a performance artist or something. So all these shops and restaurants is another reason why I like the Newport Pier area, because you can come here, spend a day at the beach, get breakfast, get lunch, and you don't have to go far and you can stay parked. Here's a Seaside Donuts, open 24 hours. The Dory Deli is a popular eating spot for sandwiches, and they got a big outside seating area out here that you can sit in addition to inside. Now, I will point out that outside seating, this started because of the pandemic, and so this hasn't always been here. And so if you come a couple years from now, this is probably going to go away again too, because they'll recycle that back to be parking in the parking lot again. If you're looking for all the things you need to go to the beach, including boogie boards and hats and sunscreen, you'll find it right here at this beach store, which is right next to the beach ball. I refer to this as the diviest bar right on the beach. This place opens at 6 a.m. for cocktails. So forget about day drinking. Start with your morning drinking at 6 a.m. Here's another bar. I love this sign that says, "You can't pee for free. Restrooms are for customers only." You can take a look at what these little establishments look like. They get pretty popular in the evening times. Now, if you are coming down here to park, particularly in this beach lot by the pier, 9 a.m. probably is, like in the summer, is about as late as you can come and still hope to get a parking spot. Down this street, there's a red building down at the end. That's called the Crab Cooker. I also really like that for seafood. So if you're looking for some seafood that isn't too expensive, check that out right here, this big line. This is in front of Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. This is a new location of theirs. I haven't eaten at this one, but they do make some pretty good ice cream. What's an ice cream cone going to cost you here? A single scoop ice cream cone will cost you $5. Definitely paying some beachfront premium on that. Now, I mentioned this pier in this area is on what's called the Balboa Peninsula, and it is a 3-mile peninsula that is basically a beach on one side and then the Newport Harbor on the other side. The Newport Harbor is one of the largest pleasure boat harbors in the U.S. And so if you want to see some really expensive boats and yachts, then you can check it out there. We've had someone running here pretty quickly, and hopefully she's okay. She's back up and running again. So indeed. Side note, I would never run here barefoot, so she is definitely more practiced on this than I am. All right, we've got Mutt Lynches, another local dive bar here. This one is pretty popular. Friday at 2 o'clock. They have a neat sign that says, "This is not a drive-through, no passing drinks through the windows," to say don't pass drinks out these windows to people out here. On Balboa Island, hey, Yeah. How you guys doing? Right on. Very good. You guys are in. I'm doing a video about Newport Beach and the Newport Beach Pier. So
I cannot hear anything you're saying, but you know what? Much love.
Because it's really loud in there, right?
I know,
so,
right?
Yeah.
And the wind and all that.
Yeah. What do you guys like about Newport Beach?
Okay, you want to hear a story?
Yeah, tell me a story.
My family has been coming to Newport Beach for 55 years.
55 years.
This year we have 55 people.
Wow.
And I've been coming 38 years.
21 years.
Awesome.
Year one.
Year one. First
My
year.
friend.
All right.
She's been here like a champ.
So we have 7 houses.
That you rented. 7 houses that you rented. And tattoos. Very good.
You know my favorite thing about Newport Beach?
What is it?
Hands down is that everybody's show. Nobody comes to Newport Beach looking for a bad time.
Yeah.
And that's probably the most important thing that if you're ever going to come here, you need to remember is you always come here and everyone's coming for a good time.
Very good. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. It was great to meet you all. Thank you very much. All right. And so it's always great to meet some fellow explorers. I asked them why they like Newport Beach, and you couldn't really hear them because the audio in there is really loud, so I'll tell you what they said. They said they've been coming here for 55 years. Big family trip. They've got 55 people. They've rented 7 beach houses here together. And they said what they like best about Newport Beach is that everybody comes here to have a good time. And so everyone is pretty chill. So if you come to Newport Beach, then you should be pretty chill too. Make sure everybody has a good time. Okay, so there's a neat kind of cycling road here that runs right along the beach in front of the houses. So if you rent one of those bikes or Surreys, you can ride it here. This is one of my favorite places to ride bikes. It's only a couple miles long. It's not super long. You can connect it to Huntington Beach and points north, but you will be riding on the road a little bit from Newport Beach to connect it up there. The Lifeguard towers all have numbers on them, and they correspond to the street numbers. So Lifeguard Tower 24 corresponds to 24th Street. So now I'm going to take you on the beach, and then we'll walk along the shore back underneath the pier because we've seen most of the little business district that is right around the pier. There's actually a ton more businesses and restaurants that are just out a couple blocks, but it's noisy there with all the cars, and this video is about the beach, so let's check out the beach here in the summer. It is fairly windy today. It's about 73 degrees is the air temperature. Water temperatures mid-60s, 65, 66 degrees, so not super warm in the water, but California rarely has super warm water. That's not going to stop most of these people from getting in the water. These are pretty typical for waves in Newport Beach in the summer. Very small, very light waves. This is a great beach for kids because it has a really, what's the word I'm looking for? It has a really gentle slope that goes out, so there's no steep drop-offs. If you come in the winter, the waves do get a little bigger, but in the summer, pretty mellow. Pretty good for kids to boogie board. Maybe not super great for adults to boogie board because the waves just don't push you around all that much. If you're looking for bigger waves, then you will want to check out Huntington Beach to the north. They do have some protected swim zones, so in the summer, because this is popular for people to swim, then certain areas are just for swimmers and other areas are just for surfers. Now, if you are coming to Southern California, you should be aware that in the summertime we get what is often called the June gloom. We have had about 3 or 4 weeks of very gray skies in the morning, usually burns off around noon. That's why I decided to come out and do this video in the afternoon, even though the parking was more difficult because I knew it would be more sunny. So if you look and say, hey, when do most people try to come to Newport Beach? Typically, I would say it's busiest right after lunch, because that's when you are most certain that it's actually going to be sunny. If you can't find any parking in the summertime, they do offer a free shuttle from an off-site lot. It's called the Newport Beach Trolley. I think you can find it on the City of Newport Beach's website for information on it. OC girl, my wife and I, we have taken that trolley in previous years on July 4th, and that was pretty convenient because we could park for free, take the trolley in, don't have to worry about how we're feeding the meters or where we're finding a place to park. And this beach, in addition to just being great for sunbathing and digging sandcastles and swimming, it's also great for walking on because it's a pretty good flat beach. And this peninsula is 3 miles long, so if you went up and down both ways, you can do 6 miles. If you kept walking all the way here to the south, eventually it would end at what's known as the Wedge. The Lifeguard Tower has a W on it, and the Wedge is a famous surf break in Newport Beach because it has a rock jetty that comes out, and the waves kind of reflect on the rock jetty and can often be, actually not often, but can sometimes be, when the conditions are right, 30-foot tall waves. So if you are here when the Wedge is breaking and you are not a seasoned surfer, I would encourage you to actually stay out of the water. Now we're coming right up underneath the pier where we started. You can see there's that abandoned sushi restaurant at the end of it. We started at about in the middle of that 1,000-foot pier. Now, if you are coming to Newport Beach, you might enjoy some of my other videos on the area. I've got videos on Balboa Island, which is a really neat small island where rich people live, and all the houses that ring it have boat docks, so that's pretty cool. Crystal Cove, just to the south, is a really neat hiking area. And if you watch the show Arrested Development, much of it was set in Corona Del Mar, which is another neighborhood in Ocean Beach, which is another neighborhood in Newport Beach that I have a whole video on. You will find links to those videos in the description below, or you'll find a couple of them on the screen right here. And as usual, I won't say goodbye, but from underneath the pier, I will see you in the next video.